Hello, guys, and welcome to IRC Season 12, Round 3 of the Australian Grand Prix. Today, we will have a full quali, which the drivers will have to put their best laps in to reach Q3. Afterwards, we will have a 50% race where the drivers will have to complete 29 laps around this beautiful track. The track is well known for its difficult corners, plus it got changed quite recently. It is established in 1953. Until today, the fastest lap ever recorded is a 1 minute 24 by Michael Schumacher. Will any driver beat that today? With 16 turns, the overtake difficulty might be a little more easy than on other tracks. Let's see what the drivers will be able to do. This Q1 is already underway. Let's get some settings up right now. I usually take the full track, and here we go. Scenario with an interesting cross the track limits. What am I saying, guys? I don't feel well today, so it will be a interesting stream. Today we've got Reezy in the Aston Martin. Let's see what he's able to put in. Will he be able to put that 124 in that Michael Schumacher managed to get a few years ago? Well, a couple of years ago already, since he doesn't drive anymore. He manages to get the second fastest sector. And Goddard, he invalidated this lap and he got DNF'd. So not sure what happened there. It seems like he crashed somewhere in the first sector. Let's walk with GFO. No, let's have a look with Steve here if we can see the McLaren driver somewhere there. He is there on the side on the left. There. So Risi manages to beat Michael Schumacher's time by almost 3 seconds. So that's something that has been broken already. It might be something with the new track layout, since the track got changed quite recently. The Thames also DNFs in the same, almost the same corner where Goddard's crashed out. So not sure what happened there. Let's have a look with the Alfa Romeo driver if we can see. And there was the Haas driver on the left side of the track. So Porto right now, the two Aston Martins managed to have 2 times already on the board. It seems like they're quite well. It seems like they're quite doing well. Has dogs also in DNF, so a lot of DNFs already in Q1. Might be a little bit more interesting towards Q2 since only 3 drivers have to qualify right now. No, only 2 drivers have to qualify right now. So. And also for Q3, actually only 4 drivers have to qualify, so the chances of getting into Q3 are way higher now that 3 people DNF'd already. As scenario right now, putting in the fastest lap of 119.9, very amazing lap from the Ferrari driver, as he already is putting in the fastest first sector in right now. Will he be able to beat that lap he already put in? Scenario right now, third sector. Is he going to be able to put a better lap in? It seems like it. He's going quite fast. His fuel tank might be a little too low. Let's see if he comes in or if he's going to drive further. He's going to drive further, so he must think his time will be better. Is he going to be able to put a better lap in? He is actually with a 119.7, so that's pretty amazing from the Ferrari driver. Let's see how his teammate is doing. He's right now going into Q2, Sector 2, my apologies. right now. He didn't really put a faster sector in, well, the fastest sector in, so that wouldn't be the fastest sector. So he is probably not going to be able to beat his teammates' lap, but is he going to be able to beat the Alfa Romeo or maybe even the Aston Martin driver? And the Williams driver, I think it is, or is it Alpine? I think it is Williams. Will have to watch out for the Ferrari driver who is coming by very fast. There is enough time for the Williams driver to. Ah, he's coming in. Okay, that's well done from the Williams driver. Because if he was going to drive further, and his teammate, the Ferrari driver, scenario, manages to get P2 or 120.2, so he's 5 tenths slower than his teammate, but still 2 tenths faster than the Alfa Romeo driver. As the Alfa Romeo driver actually retired from the session, so he thinks he has done enough this session. Seems like the Red Bull drivers here are making a circus out of it. And guys, let's get the strategy prediction up for today. Uh, VB Thomas predicted a. Hold on, guys. My sound is very loud. I'm not sure what's up. All right. So VB Thomas predicted for the IRC strategy prediction in Australia a medium hard strategy. Of course, this is not with safety cars included. So if there's any safety car, I would suggest either a soft hard strategy or a soft or a why is this also loud? Or a soft medium soft strategy. Of course, when there's a late safety car, you have to think of another strategy, which in my opinion would be the hard soft strategy. So let's get back to the race. Right now, there isn't really anyone on the track except for the Haas driver, Double Cream Cat. He just managed to get into the top 10 with a 121.6 as GFO, ROSC, and New Life haven't put a lap in yet. Roesti doesn't seem to keep his car on track. Will he be able to put a lap in right now? He has to watch out for the Aston Martin right behind him. The Alpine, my apologies. He already invalidated this lap, so I'm not sure what the Red Bull driver is doing right now. Is the Aston Martin actually, is the Alpine actually in a lap? He actually is, so the Red Bull driver, very interesting what he has done there. He wasn't going to the side for the Alpine driver and then manages to get his car into the barrier. So already 5 people DNF or retired from the track. So that means actually everyone who hasn't put a lap in yet is qualified for Q2. Rizian right here is putting in a lap. There is a yellow flag in sector 3, so I think the Haas driver there. Ooh, and Reezy doesn't manage to keep it on track. He heads out in the last corner. Let's have a look at Roscoe as he comes in the third sector. Will he be able to put a better lap in than the top 10? Of course, that's very ideal going into Q2 as all drivers want to be in Q3, of course, to keep a better lap in, of course, to defeat their main enemies, as there is another driver right there who crashed. It is the AlphaTauri driver of New Life. The AlphaTauri car of New Life, my apologies, guys. Well, will GFO be able to put a lap in right now? He is on an outlap right now, so let's go with Roscoe. He invalidated his lap, so Only three drivers on the track right now, with New Life not really setting a better lap, I imagine, since he crashed in the last corner. Reezy into the third sector. Of course, Australia, a more difficult track to overtake in. A lot of tight corners, a lot of low speed corners. So we might see a little bit of dive bombs today. Of course, the second sector is one of the most easiest to overtake in since there's a long straight there. The drivers can use their battery on that straight. As we see, New Life doesn't manage to keep his car really stable at the moment. We see a lot of flips and a lot of losing traction at the moment. Will he put a lap in? He will not. He will come inside into the pits. So Roscoe right now is going to put another lap in. 3 lap old tires. I think he is on. Let's have a look. Tires. He is on 2 lap old tires. So he manages to get the fastest first sector. So will he be able to beat both Ferraris? That would be amazing for the Constructors' Championship, as we might get the Constructor Championship right now. I will wait till Roscoe puts his lap down, as he put the fastest second sector in already. Let's hope he doesn't crash it. Of course, the commentator curse will not do well, but let's have a look if he can manage to get a better lap in. Of course, a 126, which he has put earlier this session, isn't really ideal. Yeah, it's 5 seconds off the top, so and he puts a 121.3. So actually, he has lost a lot of time into that third sector. He might not have a low downforce setup. Maybe the high downforce is going to help him on the straights. So yeah, let's get the standings up right now. As we see Mercedes right now on the top. Um, with followed by Alfa Romeo. So actually the Ferrari drivers haven't scored a point right now, and which we can see in the Q1 right now, both Ferrari drivers 1 and 2, with only one Mercedes driver, which isn't going to do well for the Constructors Championship. So let's have a look at the Drivers Championship right now. We've got Um, one Mercedes driver first, and the other Mercedes driver is sixth, if I can look very well. Then we see the Alfa Romeo driver actually second, followed by the AlphaTauri driver, Williams driver, and the Haas driver. So it's actually a very mixed with all the drivers at the moment, all the teams. Of course, we also got the Niki Lauda Championship. That's something new in this league. It is a championship where all the new drivers and the drivers who haven't scored any points or win races last season are into the Niki Lauda Championship. But it's basically drivers who are in the Niki Lauda Championship can still attend in the drivers' standings. So right now, Godards, who is first in the Niki Lauda Championship, hasn't put a lap in. He manages to get a crash in into the first or second sector, I'm not quite sure. So, how many minutes do we still have left in this session? 1.4 minutes. So everyone who is wanting to put a lap in right now, they have to come out quite fast, since one lap is going to take 1 minute 20. So I think the Aston Martin driver is going to try to put another lap in. Not sure why, since it's a full quali, so the drivers will have to save their tires. So all these drivers are already secure of a Q2 position. So Miss Gamer, welcome, welcome. So if you guys want to join this league, I'm not sure if it's allowed from the owner, but if you want to join them, there is a panel in the Twitch bio of this channel, and you can see IRC. And if you click that panel, you will come to their Facebook page, I think, and you can just join them and maybe ask the owner to join the league, and then because there's 17 drivers right now, so maybe you are able to join as a reserve driver. Right now, Fisco, is he going to be able to put another lap in? He has to, actually. He has to go faster than this because there's only 18 minutes left, 18 seconds left, so is he going to reach the line on time? 10 seconds left. Ah, he's coming in. Alright, makes sense. Reezy right now. The only one on the lap right now. Roscoe is on another lap. He invalidated this lap, and then we got a Williams driver right now. Yeah. Oh, Meta Takis. Looking by his name, it sounds like a Greek name. So I think there's a few Greek drivers in this league, such as GFO Tamilaras. I think those guys are either brothers or known each other quite well because they got the same front three letters. So Rizzi right now putting the fastest second sector in as he invalidated this lap. Not sure where he invalidated there. I think he was only off by a few pixels. Guys, if you are watching this, make sure to follow the channel as I'm able to do way more with this channel. Also for the leaks, when I have 50 followers. Right now I think I have either 44, 45. So make sure to drop that follow so you can watch the streams of the beautiful leads, of course. Amazing driving, which I've already seen yesterday by SRM. They were absolutely amazing in Monza. No real incidents, and now we see a lot of good times in the IRC league, 119 and a couple 120s, which is absolutely amazing in the Australian Grand Prix. These are known as the Albert Park, actually. It is it is like a little, how do I call it? It's like a little pond where the drivers have to drive around. It's very cool. So guys, this is your Q1 qualifying. The fastest are both Ferraris, followed by the Alfa Romeo driver, then the Aston Martin driver, the Red Bull driver, and the Mercedes driver. Who is going to be able to get into Q3 and who is going to drop off in Q2? These five drivers haven't put a lap in right now. They probably crashed into the wall. You Don't Trust Me has put in a lap. A 119.7, actually only 5,000 slower. So he was gonna be able to compete against the Ferrari driver, but he didn't manage to keep his car on track. So that's something to keep in mind of. Will he be able to gain a lot of positions in the first few laps? Right now, Q2 only 15 minutes in. There is no one coming out yet. It's the Red Bull driver, which we can see there. It's probably Physico right now. I think it's one of the admins of the league. I'm not sure. I haven't been in the league for that long, so it's really difficult to have any people knowledge at the moment. So, Physico right now, the first out on the track, then followed by Paul Metaxakis, and both Aston Martins coming out too. So that's very well. Double cream cut right now. Still in the It's both Ferraris? No, only Scenario, the faster one of the two, is coming out already. So, a lot of people in their outlets already, as we see Steve right now. No, Roscoe coming out too. So actually only 4 people are staying in the pits. Quite remarkable. I personally like to view the other drivers first to see what their laps are, then try to beat them, trying to position myself into the top 10. Also seeing what tire they're going to pick, of course, in the new strategy rule. They don't have to pick the Q2 tires anymore, so that's something I find quite stupid of the new F1 rules, but yeah, you know, it is what it is. You cannot just send a letter to the F1 directors and say, oh, I find this stupid. No, that's not possible, guys. So you have to do what they provide. So only one driver still in the pits. Mystery right now. What is his teammate going to be able to do? Is he going to put a 119 in again, or was that a one in a lifetimer? Let's get the track info for a few minutes, guys. So, as we all know, it's the Australian Grand Prix full quali right now. We are in Q2 right now. Then a 50% race, 29 laps, and there is going to be 95 miles traveled, which in kilometers is like 150, if I imagine quite well. Then it since 1953 the track is open, but I think they are doing races since 2005. I found this on internet. Then the best time is a 124, which already got um, beaten by a lot of drivers. Actually, the top 10 managed to put a better lap in. Then we got 16 turns and a 23-second pit lane loss. So there is already someone who DNF. It is a it is one of the Greek drivers, CFO Metaxaki. And let's have a look how his companion is going to do. The other GFO. As both Aston Martins are going to be able to put in the first lap, as Risi is going to put a 120 and his teammate is going to put a 119.9. So the times are actually getting better and better actually. Let's have a look. Okay, so a lot of drivers have already put a lap in. Roscoe right now with a 119.3, so he managed to get in that better sector 3, as he already had the fastest first sector, fastest second sector in the previous, in the previous session, and now he managed to beat his third sector too. Info on, guys. Who is going to be able to put a better lap in? I think it's gonna be Scenario, who is on the second lap right now. I think he's on 2 lap old uh, tires. He actually is. Well, this is his second lap on these tires, so he has to watch out for the Williams driver right in front of him. Is he going to go to the side? He isn't actually. So is that going to cause a little bit of dirty air for the Ferrari driver? I think it's going to be a little bit of dirty air, so that will cost him a few hundreds. But he is able to get a little toe in right now, which is quite nice. A 121.2 for Scenario, which will only put him 6th. So I think he will come in again for better tires and maybe try to get a better lap in, because of course he had a 119 last session, right now 121, so that's 2 seconds difference. Steve Penny right now, is he going to put a better lap in? He's already 1.2 seconds down. Now it says he is 4 tenths up, so that's a good sign. Maybe he has to get a better first sector. No, actually, he was 1.2 seconds down on his previous lap. Now he's 4 tenths up. So in the first sector, already 4 tenths. That's quite a lot. So that will place him not in position 7, but maybe he managed to get a few tenths back in sector 2, maybe sector 3. Let's have a look. Is he going to nail these last few corners? As we saw already a few crashes here in the last corner. Can he manage to keep it on the track? 120.7, which puts him P5, defeating the Ferrari driver. So it does seem like it is a one in a lifetime lap he has put last last session, my apologies, in Q1. Right now, Steve on the track. We see, who else do we see on the track? We see Physical right now, still on an outlet. We see teammate of Scenario, Mystery right now. Is he going to put himself back in P1, maybe P2? Right now, going on to the main straight, he has to watch out for the AlphaTauri driver right in front of him. Hello, Steve. Welcome. This is the IRC League Season 12 already. Actually, a league that has been there for a long, long time. I'm not sure if they're doing all the races, but it does seem like they have managed to do a lot of seasons already. The AlphaTauri driver right now going to the side, which is quite nice. Ooh, Mystery right now with the fast first sector. So he might be able to beat Roscoe, who did seem to put a very fast lap in. 119.3, it's actually very hard to beat, but he manages to get the fastest second sector already. And he loses traction there. Oh my days. That's very interesting. Because he was able to put a faster lap in than Roscoe, but he doesn't manage to keep it on track. So will he put himself without any lap? Is he going to come in, maybe get some fresher tires, or is he going to put another lap in on these old tires as he still has 46% of battery, which I think is not really enough. Right now, the Mercedes driver is on an outlet, put himself in P3, so he might be able to put a better lap in right now as the AlphaTauri driver. He hasn't put a lap in, he's on a fast lap in right now too. So that was not really the best strategy from the AlphaTauri driver, letting the Mercedes driver through. As the Mercedes driver doesn't have to go to the side right now if he's still on a fast lap. That's what I know from other leagues. So the AlphaTauri driver will have a lot of dirty air right now, especially in Australia, which is a track where you got a lot of dirty air, a lot of corners here, so which makes it very difficult to turn in. It will give you a little bit of understeer, which could end you up in the grass. As we see the Red Bull driver crashing out there in sector 2. Right now, GFO, as the AlphaTauri driver, is causing a yellow flag in sector 3. So it might be a little bit pressure from the Mercedes driver. He wanted to get past the AlphaTauri. Well, the AlphaTauri driver wanted to get past of GFO, but he manages to keep the car on track, and the AlphaTauri didn't. So GFO right now putting in the fastest, well, the second fastest lap in with a 119.7. So that's amazing for the Greek driver. Mario right now only 25 tenths down. So is he going to put a better lap in? Maybe if he nails this last few corners onto the main straight right now. He is putting in a 120.9, improving by 3 tenths, but it doesn't gain him any positions. So I reckon he's going to try put another lap in right now. Right, so Ferrari driver, he's going to try to put another lap in, but he's already 1.6 seconds down, so he isn't going to put a better lap in. Maybe the Mercedes driver, he isn't either. So actually, a lot of drivers on their in lap right now. Maybe Steve is going to put a better lap in. He managed to get a 120.7, so he will have to improve a little bit more for the top position right now. P5, it's not amazing because you're in the middle of the pack, but of course, you still can dive into the inside and get into the top three quite easily, as he managed to get a fastest first sector, so that's quite amazing for the Williams driver right now. Steve does seem like he's one of the faster drivers of this league, uh, taking the corners quite nice. As we see, he takes a lot of curves here and there, and he takes the track limits quite beautiful, as he only has a few pixels left on his car before he crosses track limits right now. So Mario thinks he has done enough for this session, put himself into P7. Maybe if Mystery actually still have to put a lap in, past the second sector in right now. So it will be between Steve. He actually is coming in, so he didn't think his lap went well. As Mystery right now with the fastest second sector, is he going to beat Roscoe? That's the question of today. As he comes around the last corner of the track, taking that beautiful last corner, taking a lot of curb on the outside turn. Let's have a look. A 119.7, which will put him P3, beating his teammate by almost 1.1 seconds. 1.2 seconds, actually, my apologies. So I don't think anyone is still going to put the lap in, guys. It seems like they all have done enough. Actually, everyone is in. Well, actually, everyone who hasn't crashed into the barriers is into Q3, so they can all just retire on track or retire in the pits and they can go to the next qualifying round. Well, the key aspect to discuss is Ferrari going to put better laps in into Q3 because right now with a P3 and a P8, I don't think they're going to win a race. But maybe if they can get that form back from Q1, is are they going to be able to put themselves back into P1 and P2? Of course, Roscoe demonstrated that he is able to put a very good lap in with a 119.3, beating his main competition, the Mercedes driver, by almost 4 tenths. Of course, GFO Chalamaris, in comparison to Metaxakis, is actually way more consistent since I saw Metaxakis already crashing out a few times actually here on this track. Right now, a beautiful sound from F1. Alright guys, this is the results of qualifying 2. We got Roscoe P1 followed by Talamaris and Mystery. Um, Fisco and Mitaksakis didn't manage to get a time in, so they will drop out in Q2. Right now, New Life manages to get into Q3, one of the lower drivers I can imagine since he has put a 121.9 in, almost 2.5 seconds slower than Roscoe. So we can see the nationalities here, guys. A lot of guys have been put in their nationalities, but we can see that Salamaris with the GR at the back of the name is actually Greek, right? Or like I predicted, we see that New Life is also Greek, and I think there was a Scottish person in there too. So a lot of different nationalities right now racing for IRC. If anyone is interested to drive in this league, make sure to check the panel down below in the info where you can find IRC. Just click the link and it will lead you to their Facebook page. Right, guys, right now, Q3. Abdurizi, there we go, Abdurizi. I'm not sure what position he was last. Um, last qualifying, I think he was top five or maybe top seven, but he has proven some fast driving around here. Hello, guys, welcome. Oh, I just saw it. Danny Reese is saying Abduriz, but it's him. Oh, that's quite ironic. So right now, three drivers on an outlet, maybe four, maybe five, as a lot of drivers are still coming out of the pits. Welcome, Big Sausage. Welcome. Uh, Salamaris is coming on for an outlet too. So actually, not that much drivers coming out as we saw in the last session. So that will be a little more interesting to talk about as a lot of drivers will be spread out on the track in different minutes of the Q3. Calamari is actually putting in some beautiful weaving around there in that corner. Quite difficult. Not really scared to put his car on the track, really weaving. Not scared to, well, not he, well, how do you say it? He is not scared to lose traction and put his car into the barrier. So that means he has a lot of confidence on this track and in his car, in his setup. Maybe he has an amazing setup, probably because he manages to get into Q3. Of course, with a bad setup, you cannot manage to get into Q3, of course. Roscoe right now, still in the pits. He's probably preparing himself mentally. Am I going to put myself into P1 or am I going to put myself in the barrier? That's something to keep in mind of. Scenario right now, Ferrari driver. Matt Beaver, I don't think he is racing tonight. Uh, he is watching from the sideline. Ooh, Theo, actually one of the IRC champions, as I can see in the chat, which is quite amazing. Not sure who that is on the track right now, but it will probably be one of the top three drivers who will qualify in Q3. Oh, scenario right now, putting in the fast second sector. He has to watch out for the Haas driver in front of him, though, double cream cat. Right, so the first driver to come to cross the line is Double Cream Cat with a 121.3, followed by Scenario with a 118.9. What an amazing lap from the Ferrari driver. He has put his thought on the side, just put it in the track, well, on the track in his racing seat. Maybe if he drives with a racing wheel, I'm not sure. But he has put his thoughts on the side, just thought by himself, I have to put a great lap in, which he actually does, a 118, which is the first one we've seen today, followed by the Mercedes driver, 119.1. So actually, we do see a lot of drivers only putting in, um, only putting in very much effort in Q3 right now, as the fastest lap in Q1 was a 120. I do have to say, unfortunately, Physical crashed out in Q2, so we will see him from P11 or P12, I think. But I do think he is going to be able to gain a lot of positions if he gets a good strategy. Mystery Scenario's teammate right now in P3 actually quite amazing, a 119.5. So he is one of the drivers who has put all his effort into Q1, Q2, and Q3 as we don't see many differences between his times. Ooh, as we see Portal Farm right now. outside the track, so that's not something we like to see. It doesn't seem to have any damage. So he was probably on a in lap, but that doesn't really matter because still, if you manage to get out of track, well, outside the track and you lose traction, it's over and you cannot qualify anymore. So he would stick with his 119.6. Let's get new life lap on right now. We don't have any. Here we go. We don't want any detail. So right now, new life. I think he's going to come into the pits. He actually is. Oh, no one is on the track right now on the fast lap. We see a couple of drivers on the night lap. Hawk right now, Roscoe, and Steve Penny. So three drivers to actually have well, to keep an eye on because um, all the three of drivers have put very fast lap in Q1 and Q2 combined. So Hawk right now, first one to cross the line. Is he going to be able to put a better lap in than Scenario? Maybe placing himself into P3, P2, or maybe even P1. Let's have a look. I don't think he is driving right now, Big Sausage. Let's have a look at the race director. I'm not sure if. Nope, I'm actually not able to see it, so my apologies, but I don't think he's racing tonight. As I only saw one Mercedes driver in the lobby, so. Alright, so Roscoe. Ooh, as we see Hawk right now. Ooh, saving his car quite nicely there. He was going to look well, he was looking to go into the barrier, but just to keep his car on track. And he spins it now in the barrier. He loses his front wing, but isn't really DNF. So Roscoe right now. He might have got a little jump scare from Hawk right there, going in reverse. Ooh, he invalidated his lap on the last corner there. That's very unfortunate for the Alpine driver. He does manage to get a 120.0 in, which would have placed him in P5. Let's have a look at Steve right now. He is putting the slowest lap in, but I do think he's going to try and put another lap in right now. A 122.6. So let's have a look. He has his battery saved, so I think he knew he hasn't put a better lap in. So let's have a look. How do I race? I think you are going to race by joining the server, maybe messaging the owner, which is Matt. You can go into the info panels. Um, yes, I think you do. Just go to the info panels, which you can see IRC. Just click the panel there, and you will have to go to a link, which is either a Facebook or a Messenger group, and just message the owner there. Right now, Roscoe invalidated his lap on the last corner. Very unfortunate for the Alpine driver. So he will have to come in, put in his tires on real quick, and put in a lap because now he's only P10 deep right now. Ooh, it does seem like he's going to put a very fast lap in. A 120.8, so he puts himself into P6. But we do see there's a lot of difference between the top drivers and the lower top five from top five till, from P5 to P10, we see there's a difference of almost 1.6 seconds from P1, so that's quite amazing. So let's have a look if Hawk is going to put a better lap in. Maybe Roscoe. He invalidated his lap again, so I think it was better to just come into the pits as he crossed the track limits there. So I'm not sure if that is allowed in this league, but it does seem like it. Here right now. 1.7 seconds up, down on his time, so he will have to come in, put in some fresh tires, and maybe try to get a better lap in. But it doesn't seem like he's going to be able to get in time. New life right now, followed by mystery, followed by scenario. My apologies. So I think scenario is going to try and put a better lap in. I wouldn't even try it to be honest. Although GFO right now is still on a lap, 4 seconds down, so that's not really ideal for the Mercedes driver. He is maybe on an inlet. We don't know that actually. No. Okay, so GFO, is he going to go for another lap? Is he going to come in? That's the question. He is going to come in, so he isn't going to put a better lap in, which will put him P2. Hawk right now invalidated this lap, so he isn't going to put a lap in either, and everyone else is on an out lap, so Steve right now P6, so he isn't going to be able to put a better lap in. Mario right now, going to get a better lap in. Not sure why though, because I don't think anyone is going to be able to beat this lap. Uh, First followed driver who might be able to get a lap in is Mystery with a 119.5, but he still has to improve by 6 tenths. Although he does, well, oh no, it's Mario. He does manage to get a fastest first sector in by a gain of 4 tenths. Are we gonna see a 117 today, guys? That's the question. And has the second sector too, so I do think he's going to manage to beat his time. We don't know yet how many tenths he's going to improve by, because he does take quite a lot of curb there on the outside. Here too, quite beautiful from the Ferrari driver. On to the last corner. Hope he doesn't crash here. He does manage to keep it on track quite well. Onto the main straight as he manages to get a 118.3. So he improves by 6 tenths, quite amazing from the Ferrari driver. We don't think there's anyone going to improve his time. As we see right now, Reezy, the Aston Martin driver, doing quite well actually. Ooh, and we see a Ferrari driver on the side there. We think it's Mystery. Yeah, it is actually. He was improving by 5 tenths, but unfortunately, he didn't keep the car on track there. As that will be your Q3 result, guys. So let's have a look at what is the results right now. It is P1 for the Ferrari driver, Scenario, followed by Salamaris. Then we've got Mystery, Portal Fawn, and Reezy to finish the top 5. Roscoe hasn't put a lap in, so we will see him come uh, forward during the race quite heavily, gaining quite a few positions I expect him to do. Then we've got Double Cream Cat, who is the slowest out of the top 10 um, with 121.3. 3 seconds off Scenario's time, so we do see a lot of difference between the top drivers and a little bit of lower drivers. We do have to keep in mind there is 17 drivers on the track right now since it's a full quali, so those drivers didn't manage to get into Q3. Let's have a look at the strategy prediction, which I predicted the drivers are going to do. The fastest would be a medium hard stopper, followed by a soft hard stopper. And if there is a early safety car, the drivers might have to go with a early soft stop and then going on to the, well, not a stop, but soft tires to begin with, followed by the hards. Maybe they can try to go onto the mediums quite early, and then if they expect a second safety car, by the end of the race, maybe going on to their second pair of softs. Then we've got a late safety car strategy, which would be the hard soft strategy. Um, yeah, because the drivers have to extend their hards then. Um, yeah. Of course, the drivers will have their own strategies in mind. This is what I predict they're going to do. But yeah, my prediction of last race yesterday was absolutely amazing. I predicted there was going to be a two-stopper, as we might see a little bit of rain. It is a bit dark here on the Albert Park track. Let's have a look at the formation. So let's have a look from P17 to P10 since we haven't had a look at that. So Joe Westy right now, P17, he had some interesting things going on during qualifying as he didn't go to the side when I think it was Roscoe or You Don't Trust Me when they were coming. He didn't go to the side as he did invalidate his lap. So after that, he went into the barrier, which is a quite controversial move from the Red Bull driver, followed by AZ Doggy. Right now, the AlphaTauri driver, his teammate is P7, so not a great result from the uh, AlphaTauris, but we see that both drivers have been disqualified from the from the formation lap, so they will have cold tires. They're followed by Goddard, who is actually first in the Niki Lauda Championship. Let's get that up. So right now we see here the Niki Lauda Championship. So I think Goddard is one of the newer drivers since the Niki Lauda Championship is for newer drivers and drivers who haven't put a single win in last season. Then we've got You Don't Trust, who is also in in the race, but he is also P13. So both drivers didn't really put in great results. Well, they have put great results in last races, but they don't seem like they are doing quite well during the Australian Grand Prix here in Austria. Australia, my apologies. Scenario is also disqualified from the thing, so he didn't manage to get a very good positioning into the well, how is it called actually? Into the grid. We all like the game so much, Big Sausage. Sausage, it's amazing. Reezy didn't manage to get a purple thing in either, such as New Life, JK. Roscoe neither, Metaxakis neither, and Physico neither. So they will start with a little bit of delay. Well, not delay, but they start a little bit more back than the other drivers, of course. And it's lights out. And away we go. As we are not seeing anything clearly. Interesting. Okay, so we see that the Ferrari drivers have a great start, as we saw a front wing going out around there. The Aston Martin driver there didn't manage to keep it on track, as he is last right now. A lot of position changes. Let's get the position changes up right now. There we go. As we see both Ferraris right now first, there is a yellow flag going on, so I think it's a virtual safety car. You don't trust me with 10 positions gained already. Oh, as there is a safety car already, so very interesting start from the race, of course, with already a safety car going on. There was a lot of carnage in the first corner, so Australia is never an easy track to really get into the first corner with since there's a lot of carnage, as we saw already a few front wings flying around there. Let's have a look at position changes, guys. So we got You Don't Trust Me with 10 positions gained, followed by Steve Penny, maybe Physico, Thames already 5 positions gained, Uesti also 6 positions gained, and AZ Dog 4 positions gained. The biggest losers of the night are Portal Fall with 12 positions lost and GFO Salamaris with 15 positions lost. So here we see a strategy from Pirelli, they are saying the medium parts or the soft medium. Medium, I think I saw. Well, I'm not sure. Let's have a look at what the drivers are on right now, tire wise. So GFO is coming in probably for new tires, for new front wing. As you see, quite a few drivers on the mediums, a little bit of drivers on the soft. So Joeski right now on the softs. We see a lot of drivers coming in already. For soft, GFO Metaxakis for soft, and Goddard's also for soft. As GFO Salamaris is the only driver right now on parts, so will he be able to stretch them till the end? Maybe he's going to try stretch them to the end, hoping for a late safety car, as he will have to pit onto the softs then. So let's have a look at the. Thank you, Big Sausage. Really appreciate that. So, let's have a look at the standings right now, as there is a lot of changes already. The Ferrari drivers both being first and second would leave them with 33 points plus maybe fastest lap, which would which will undo their 0 points of the season already. Mercedes right now 30, 32 points, and the Oh, 52 points. Oh my days. So Mercedes is not really doing well right now. My favorite F1 driver in real F1, I think it would be either Vettel. I'm gonna start crying, guys. It's either Vettel, either Alonso. I also like um hold on, let me think. I also like Valtteri Bottas because I think he has done a little bit dirty last season, mm, with Hamilton since he always had to leave the track. No idea who that is, but he seems like a great guy. Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. Wait, I have to Google it because I'm quite well. I'm not quite new to the race, well, to the sport, but I don't know many of the old drivers. Oh, you mean Nigel Mansell? Okay, okay. Yeah, he's quite of an older driver, so I haven't seen him race since I'm from 2003. He stopped racing from 1995, so I haven't seen him race yet, but I do have to look for old clips maybe to get to know the older drivers. Which is your favorite circuit, Big Sausage? Croatia. Which circuit is that? I don't think that's on the F1 calendar. You might mean Dragon Trail. I think it is from GT7. I love to race there, but I don't have GT7 for the new thing. As the safety car is going to go away this lap, so let's have a look what the Ferrari drivers are going to do starting wise. So will they be able to put in a good start? Maybe trying to leave You Didn't Trust Me behind them, as it seems like You Didn't Trust Me had a better exit going out of that corner. So let's have a look where You Don't Trust Me is going to place him, as there is a little bit of fighting going on here. Scenario did get pushed off a little bit, as You Don't Trust Me is going to go on the outside of Mystery, as he already overtook him on the on the straight. So right now we've got You Don't Trust Me with already 12 positions gained at P1, followed by Mystery and Scenario. Steve Penny already gaining 4 positions, so he did manage to gain a lot of positions during the safety car restart or maybe during the first lap. We are not sure, as Joe Westy had the first 3 seconds of the day. So let's have a look at 10th. Six positions gained quite well from the Haas driver. Is he going to plan a attack on physical 04? Although Rothko right now behind him is very close to the Haas driver, only 3 tenths down, well, only 3 tenths difference, so as the Red Bull driver didn't manage to keep his traction into his car, so he did get pushed off a little bit there, although Roscoe did leave enough space. So he went a little bit wide, which could have cost him a little bit of time, but he only lost 2 positions thanks to that. So you don't trust me right now on the mediums with a 123.5. So they did manage to beat Michael Schumacher's time, as the fastest lap there was 124.1 if I remember well. Let's get the track info up real quick. So it was a 124.125. So that's the fastest lap ever recorded here. As we see, you don't trust me crash while I'm explaining the track information. So you don't trust me crashed actually without a front wing right now. As we see New Life also crashing. There's a lot of carnage going on during the safety car restart. You don't trust me has left the session. That's very unfortunate. As I do think he was gonna be able to gain quite a few positions if he has to hit. It's a good question, guys. He is a very interesting driver. Like I already said, it was something with the Q2 or Q1, I think it was even, where he didn't leave enough space for the Williams or Alpine driver, and then he parked his car into the wall. So you will have to look back at that since that was a very interesting incident. You don't trust me. Very unfortunate he is coming in, but the car is actually going to drive further, so that's a little bit disappointing. Right now, Roscoe gaining 4 positions, Physical gaining 5 positions. New Life already retired from the session, so I find it very, I'm not gonna say sad, but I find it very unfortunate. Joe Westy also retired from the session, so I find it very unfortunate for the drivers who crashed early stage into the race that they already retire from the session since there is gonna be able to maybe get a early safety car in or maybe a late safety car in and they come back. So yeah, I find it very unfortunate for those drivers. But Scenario right now has lost 1 position by his teammate actually in Mystery. So is there going to be a little team play coming in to keep Steve Penny behind him? Right now, Hawk gained 2 positions, so that's quite amazing. Thames gaining 9 positions. So Thames does seem like he's on a rampage at the moment. As I call it usually, the steam train of, and then the track. So it's today, the steam train of Australia, Thames Shadow. Absolutely amazing. We also have to keep in mind quite a lot of drivers are choosing um, time trial setups, which will make him very fast into the qualifying, but it can lose them quite a lot of time into the actual race since it will drain more tire degradation. It will also drain more battery as it's not really physical. Yeah, I think he went into the pits right now, so quite an interesting strategy as he goes onto the stop. So those drivers who are going onto the softs right now predict a late safety car, which they would go onto the mediums then, or maybe the soft try to stretch these softs and trying to stretch the other softs too. So let's have a look at the top drivers. There was, as I was telling, with the time trial setup, it could cost them a little bit time during the race. So it seems like Mystery really has a race setup and Scenario has a time trial setup as he is not that fast during the race compared to his qualifying time. So Hawk right now, getting into P2. He had a few. I think he lost the car quite a few times, where he did manage to get a time in, but he invalidated his lap quite a few times. So I think he was able to put a better lap in, but unfortunately he didn't. Um, right now, GFO Metaxakis. Um, Gaining 5 positions already. So is he going to be able to gain a lot of positions more? Is he going to put himself into the top 5? Since Stem Shadow right now is on a rampage. So I don't think that's going to happen. So it's either going to be Stem Shadow overtaking Hawk and Metaxakis taking advantage of that. So currently, Physico, right now in the pits, not sure what happened there. He's going on to the hards. So apparently, Physico is one of the drivers who is going onto the radar quite often. So he will gain a lot of positions going towards the end of the race. So he doesn't really think there is going to be another safety car as he pits onto the hards right now. Very interesting strategy of the Red Bull driver. Let's have a look at these standings, guys, since the safety car is still going up. So here's standings right now. We see that Mercedes is at the top right now, but they're going to lose a couple of positions since Salamari, the first Mercedes driver, is only 10th, and the other Mercedes driver is not really attending. So the Alfa Romeo guys, right now with only Hawk in the session, gaining 12 points if I remember well, would put him put him not in front of the Mercedes drivers. So I don't think there's anyone going to beat the Mercedes drivers already, since both drivers are actually doing amazing with already 13 and 37 points scored. 15, my apologies, 15 and 37 points scored already. So 52 points for the Mercedes drivers, as I think the safety car is going to go away right now. So another safety car restart for the Ferrari drivers. Um, they are not followed by You Don't Trust Me right now, so it is going to be Steve Penny who will plan an attack on the Ferrari drivers. You Don't Trust Me earlier managed to overtake both drivers going into the first corner and then the second corner too. So will Steve Penny be able to do the same? It doesn't seem like he has a good restart. Mystery does seem like he has a very good restart scenario, only 7 tenths behind, but Steve Penny is going to plan an attack. Physical right now has joined, so I think he has lost connection to the session earlier. I'm not sure if his AI pitted for for hearts then, but if he did, it was quite an amazing strategy from the AI itself. Let's have a look at Metaxakis right now, as he is the closest to a driver at the moment. Maybe trying to overtake Tim's Shadow. 3 tenths, but it is very difficult to overtake during the first few corners of Sector 3. He does have to get a better exit here, which he doesn't really. 4 tenths behind the Haas driver. He does get a little bit of a slipstream, so let's have a look what he's going to be able to do. It was very close coming out of that corner right there. So although Godard's actually gaining 8 positions, which is quite good at the moment, he was placed P15 if I remember well, but this will gain him quite a few points for the Niki Lauda Championship. If you didn't hear my explanation earlier, although Portal, no, Reezer right now crashed into the last sector. So, my explanation earlier about the Niki Lauda Championship, it's something new in this league, IRC league, and they are doing a separate championship for the drivers who are new or haven't done any race wins last season. They're putting in a championship for the for those drivers, and then they can attend both championships, so the Niki Lauda Championship and the actual Drivers' Championship. And right now, Godarts is the fastest driver, um, having the most points, as there is another safety car at the moment. So that's already the third safety car. Very unfortunate because this, uh, well, how am I going to say it? This ruins the strategies for quite a few drivers. So I'm not sure what happened here though, because we saw Scenario putting his brakes on quite early, as some drivers got scared of that. So Mystery coming in right now, followed by Steve Penny, followed by Hawk. Then a lot of drivers are coming in. So actually, only Godarts and Mystery are staying on the track. No, it's GFO. Mystery coming in actually. GFO is the only drivers to stay on track together with Physical right now. Let's have a look at what tire they're going on, guys. Um, right now, almost all drivers, except for Thames Shadow, are going on to the hards. So we see Salamari is already 9 laps onto his hards, followed by Physico, 3 laps old, three lap old hards. So that wouldn't been a very bad strategy by the Red Bull driver pitting early for these hards, as we see Ace Dog leaving the session. Right now, Thames with a very interesting strategy. Soft tires. What is he going to be able to do? As the soft tires are only going to hold like 6, 7 laps. So he is going to hope for another safety car later this race. So we already see a lot of stops by Physical. 2 stops already. A lot of drivers actually have put 2 stops in already. Godarts, Roscoe, Metaxakis all have done a 2 stop, which is quite interesting to see. Scenario right now, 6 positions down. He is on the hards too, but he has made some interesting strategy decisions. Physical right now with the best strategy. Salamari started on the hards, but he got punted off, so he went all the way back to P15 if I remember well, and now he's back in P1. So that's very amazing for the Greek driver at the moment. Mystery right now at the same position as he was in earlier. He managed to get into P3 at the end of Q3, and then got to position 1 during the safety car restart, and now he's back into P3 because of a strategy decision. So he is one on the newer, fresher tires, as Physico and Salamari had an early pit stop. And yeah, he might have a little bit of an advantage going through through the later stage of the race, but only 3 laps is not really much to benefit from. Solomari's is already going very slow, so that's quite early since the safety car is still half a lap to go. Right now, who is going to be able to put a good start in? Safety car in this lap, as you guys can see at the top of the screen. Is Thames going to put another rampage move on the Alfa Romeo driver, or is he going to drop some positions because of Scenario, who is right now going very fast, but he has lost few positions. So yeah, that's something to keep in mind. Let's have a look at the front. As Physico has a very great start, he's going to try and get that slipstream of the Mercedes driver. He's going to try to come into the inside. Is the Mercedes driver leaving enough space? He actually is, but it seems like the Red Bull driver has a better exit, followed by the Ferrari driver at the moment. Are they going to put a move on the inside? Yes, he actually is, but he is going a little bit deep, going onto the grass, so he has to watch out for all the cars who are coming past, as we see right now. Unfortunately, GFO Meta Sakis didn't manage to keep his car on track. Already three safety cars has been going on. So we are not halfway the race yet, and already three safety cars. So I don't hope there is going to be five or six safety cars. But yeah, we will have to see that. Right now, Mystery managed to overtake Salamaris. Not sure where Physico is right now. Oh, he went onto the grass. So he lost a couple of positions, still 8 positions gained, but there's still a lot of laps going on, and there are already penalties. So 3 seconds for Mystery, as the Red Bull driver didn't manage to keep his car straight, so he lost a little bit of traction, and right now is P13. So yeah. Right now, let's have a look at the top because it seems like Salamaris has overtaken the Ferrari driver again, who is followed by Steve Penny. Is he going to be able to overtake the Ferrari driver? It doesn't seem like it since he's already 8 tenths away from him. But Ferrari, are they actually going to score some points today, as they haven't scored a single point this season yet? Right now, Mystery seems like he's doing very well, having a great battle with the Mercedes driver at the moment. It is very difficult to overtake on this track. They will have to use a lot of DRS, ERS, as we see Mystery having a little bit more DRS than the ERS, my apologies, than the Mercedes driver the Mercedes driver. Uh, Although the Mercedes driver just has to keep it clean because if he stays right behind Mystery and Steve Penny, he can just benefit of the penalty they have received, which is going to be 3 seconds. So if he is going to lose a position, don't lose hope because both drivers still have a penalty to receive at the end of the race. So right now, Gotthard's actually having an amazing recovery race after placing himself into 15th position. Right now, P11. So Gotthard's having the fastest lap already with a 123.0, beating Michael Schumacher's time by almost 1.0 seconds. He's doing right now on the tail of the Mercedes driver. Is he going to be able to put a good move on? I don't think he is because he didn't have much traction coming out of that corner. There's a little bit of a gap between the top four and then the drivers behind them. As we see Hawk right now having a little bit of a battle with the other Ferrari driver, Scenario right now. He does have a little bit more fresher tires, I reckon, for Hawk right now, with only 13% of battery, as we see Scenario having a little bit of more battery, as he has 25%. What is the driver behind him? He is Roscoe, 52% of overtake, so he is saving his battery quite well. Might come in handy later stage during the race. As we see, there's a little bit of wheel banging between the Ferrari driver and the Alfa Romeo driver. So let's have a look if Roscoe is going to benefit out of that. As we see Hawk right now pinging into the barrier. Did he lose a front wing? He actually did. So I think there is going to be another safety car. Is there going to be another safety car? I don't hope there's going to be another safety car, but might be a virtual safety car, guys. Right now, Gotthard's gaining 11 positions, Scenario losing 4 positions, but I do think he is going to put in his team trade maybe putting in a motor, an extra motor at the back of his car, trying to get back to that top four. And yeah, a very unfortunate result for You Don't Trust Me, which who was actually first at the first lap of the race since he overtook both Ferraris. But well, no, it wasn't the first lap, but it was during one of the earlier safety cars as he overtook both Ferraris, but he did spin it into the barrier there. So I think the safety car may have affected a lot of races' strategies, such as yeah, double cream cat. I don't think he has benefited a lot from the safety cars, as he only has done one stop, and right now he's on the hard tires. So I don't think he has benefited really since Gotthard right now gained 11 positions and double cream cat gained only one position. So yeah, a lot of strategies have been ruined by the safety car. So maybe the leader of this league has to think about the settings, maybe lowering down the safety car sensitivity, of course. Mystery did manage to get into that second of Salamaris. Not anymore, actually. Salamaris seems like he has really found his form during this race. He's also on the older tires, so it seems like it's going to be a good result for the Mercedes driver as his teammate is not present at the moment. I'm going to be back for, well, back in a few seconds, guys. I need to do something real quick, so I will see you in a few seconds. Alright, guys, I'm back. My apologies for the waiting. So we see there's another yellow flag in sector 3 at the beginning there. Let's see what happened there. If we can get a little bit of a footage there. Let's have a look with Roscoe's car. We do see the Alfa Romeo car there on the left side of the track. Mario right now only losing 4 positions. So it does seem like um, his strategy has paid off since he doesn't have to pit anymore towards the end of the race. So um, I don't think there's going to be another safety car since there's only 10 laps still going on. So right now, Calamari with 6 tenths up on his main rival at the moment, Mystery. Is Mystery going to be able to overtake the Mercedes driver? Right now, Gotthard's having a little battle with the Williams driver. Steve Penny seems like he's really on a rampage at the moment. Um, Also, his main rival at the moment, Gotthard's gaining 11 positions, which is quite amazing. Gotthard does still have to stay in that DRS, just stay behind the driver, or maybe overtake him and benefit of the 3 seconds that Mystery has. And Roscoe seems like he's in no man's land. Nobody behind him, no one in front of him. He has 6 seconds in front of no 8 seconds in front of physical, but 6 seconds behind Mario. So I don't think he's going to be able to do anything since the strategy it's going to be a hard stop, well, a hard tire until the end. And GFO Salamaris right now already 17 laps on the hards, so he pitted very early for these hards since he had a little bit of an incident with I think it was Portal Foam or either Reezy. Right now, mystery. Is he going to be able to overtake Salamari since he has a little bit worn out tires? As we see, there is another driver crashing out. It is Reezy at the moment. He didn't manage to keep the car on track, maybe spinning into the barrier. Is there any car going to overtake him? I think it is going to be Thames Shadow, who gained 3 positions, of course. He benefited a lot from the drivers who have crashed out, such as Hawk, Metaxanis, and Joesti. Jeff Talamari is actually only 3 tenths up. Um, so what is the Ferrari driver going to do? Is he going to plan an attack? Maybe he's going to try and just stay behind the Mercedes driver because he has a 3 second penalty anyway. So he isn't going to be able to drive away for almost 3 seconds, if I'm being honest. Maybe he is pushing the Mercedes driver till the edge. Maybe he's trying to crash him out, not on purpose, but mentally to, well, to benefit from that 3 second penalty he has gained. Right now, Goodhart's actually being in P4, getting overtaken by Scenario. So Scenario does seem like he's on a rampage at the moment. Steve Penny, not sure what happened there, but he does find himself behind both cars. So it seems like Scenario has overtaken him, overtaken both Steve Penny and Goatard's. Physical at the moment, 3 seconds of penalty. So I think he already has 6 seconds of penalties. Let's have a look. He actually does. Also, Steve Penny has 6 seconds of penalties, and Roscoe just got his sixth warning, so he got a 6 second penalty too. Steve Penny at the moment seems like he's really losing time on the top four since he was already in the DRS zone a couple of laps ago, and now he finds himself outside the DRS zone with 1.1 seconds behind. But it does seem like he is better at the S section, so yeah, it's really controversial about what he is going to be able to do. Is he going to stick with the top four of his, or is Roscoe maybe going to try and come back? I don't think he actually is because he's 7 seconds behind. He was 6 seconds behind earlier. So it seems like Fiziko is really coming back on Roscoe. He was only 8 seconds behind now, only 6 seconds. So yeah, let's see what's going to happen there. Let's keep that in mind. Maybe try to get Portal Farm to come with him. But there's a yellow sector 3 right now. Roscoe didn't manage to keep it on track. So we saw a lot of crashes already during this last corner here in Australia. So it does seem like he has lost a little bit of front wing because he isn't really taking the corners how he should take them. Portal Farm, is he going to make a move on the outside? He doesn't actually because Roscoe managed to squeeze him into the barrier, not really getting any damage, but he did have to press the brake quite heavily. So Roscoe right now keeping Portal Farm behind, who actually almost crashed into the barrier since he lost a little bit of traction there. So that's really into the first sector, I think it is, or maybe the second sector. I'm not really sure, but it is a very dangerous track because if you hit the curb there, really dangerous because you can lose traction and really lose the car in one little mistake. So let's have a look at the top three here, as Mystery is maybe going to plan and attack him. He actually is going onto the inside, but it seems like the Mercedes driver has keeping him behind. So he has a little bit of DRS here. Is he going to send a move on the inside? The Mercedes driver defends the inside, but goes back onto the outside. So maybe the Ferrari driver is going to try and get a better exit on out of this corner. It does seem like the first sector is very hard. sector to overtake in. I would say one of the most hardest sectors since we saw during the actual race where Max Verstappen and Russell had a clean fight during the first sector. It was also very difficult to overtake each other. So right now, Mystery hasn't put an attack in. Maybe he's going to try and do it later during the race. He does have to keep in mind with his 3 second of penalty. So let's have a look at the more downwards positions. It's P8 right now with Portal Farm, who might try to make an overtake on Rothko. It does seem like the Aston Martin is a little bit slower than the Alpine driver at the moment. As we see a lot of cars here in Sector 3 at the moment. Scenario maybe trying to overtake his teammate. As we see Mystery right now overtaking the Mercedes driver, he must have had a better exit. And also GFO Salamari's tires might have been a little bit more degraded. Since he is already 23 left onto these tires and Mystery only around 15, I think. Yeah, GFO really an amazing strategy he has done so far. Scenario at the moment, planning an attack on the Mercedes driver. So is it really going to be a Ferrari top 1 and 2? Right now, Gotthard seems like he has lost a little bit of time onto the top 3. He couldn't keep up with them, but he has to keep in mind Steve Penny is still hunting for him. Is he going to be able to make up 2.7 seconds? It seems like it since he is going very fast through this third sector. Although the McLaren driver seems like he has a better setup for this track since he is able to gain a lot of time during the corner sections. Scenario right now onto the back of the Mercedes driver. So he will have DRS, but so will the Mercedes driver. So will he use ERS? I don't think he will. How many ERS has the Mercedes driver saved? Only 17%, so that will make a little bit of more interesting as we see the Ferrari driver right now making a move into the inside. Is he going to leave enough space? He actually is, as they are going beautifully towards each other, as the Mercedes driver gives a little bit of a wheel banging onto the Ferrari driver's car. So it's a little bit more interesting. But although because of this fight, it seems like Mystery has really driven away, and it's going to be even more difficult to catch up to to position 1 at the moment. So right now, Goatard's already gaining 11 positions. As we see here, Salamari's got overtaken by Scenario. Very unfortunate for the Mercedes driver, although he does have a little bit of DRS at the moment. So will he be able to overtake him back? Maybe on the main straight since the Ferrari driver will not have DRS. Maybe the other, well, maybe Mystery is going to slow down a little bit, giving the giving his teammate DRS, maybe giving a little bit of a tow. That would be ideal for Scenario, but I don't think he's able to get the DRS. So Salamaris will get ready for a move at the moment since he will have DRS. Although he is 8 tenths behind, so I don't think he's going to plan any attack soon. Also, his tires are really worn out. 24 laps already on these hard tires as their main competitors. Right now, both Ferraris are 15 laps on those hards. Let's have a look at Goatard's 11 positions gained. He is really coming back since Mercedes and Ferrari are really battling at the moment. 1.4 seconds left. Fans at the moment having a beautiful battle with Portal Farm, I can uh, imagine. Let's have a look at the penalties right now, guys. As we see, there is a crash of double cream cat at the moment. Very unfortunate. Also, in that last corner, as there is a safety car going on right now, so this is going to be very interesting strategy-wise. Are the drivers still going to come into the pits? I do think GFO Talamares is going to come in, maybe for softs. That would be very interesting. He actually is right now. He's only going to lose 2 or 3 positions, I think. And the drivers with a penalty, they are really not beneficial at the moment since all cars will be put back together and yeah, it's gonna really be very difficult to drive away 3 seconds already. Although the safety car is going to come in this lap since there's still 3 laps have to be driven without safety car. So I'm not sure if the Mercedes driver really has put a good strategy and will he be able to get back to that top three. Tonight, I think there has been 4 safety cars and 2 virtual safety cars, if I can remember well. So let's have a look at the position changes. We see Gotthard losing 10 positions, but I think he went into the pits. Physical really coming back from last position to P6 at the moment. He has, um, how would I say this? He really didn't have the race he wanted to have, but right now really coming back strong in P6 at the moment. So safety car will come in this lap. So I don't think the drivers who have pitted at the moment really benefited from this pit stop since the race still has 3 laps to drive. 2 laps, my apologies. Right now, I have a look at scenario. Is he going to overtake his teammate or is he going to provide him with the win? I don't think he actually is because Mystery still has 3 seconds of penalties. So does Steve Penny. I think he even has 6 seconds of penalties. He actually does have 6 seconds of penalties. So he does have to manage to keep that Mercedes driver behind. Maybe hope that Godards and the Mercedes driver of, well, the Mercedes car of Salamaris are going to battle with each other. And then he can try to drive away and maybe try to get outside that 3 seconds of Gotthard. So there's been a safety car restart. We see that Salamaris already overtook Steve Penny. Yeah, of course he's on the softs, and we see that Gotards is going to overtake Steve Penny too because of those soft tires. So it's really going to be interesting to see Salamaris if he's going to be able to overtake both Ferraris. I do think he's going to overtake them since he has the fresher tire, of course. Yeah, this is really a team play from the Ferrari drivers. Mystery letting his teammate go through to really defend on Salamari since both drivers don't have penalties and Mystery does have a penalty, so he really has to defend on the Mercedes driver at the moment. But he does seem to get into the inside of Mystery already. And Mystery going on the grass at the moment, so not sure what happened there if he got a little push from the Mercedes driver, but it didn't seem like it to be honest. So if Calamari is going to be able to overtake Scenario, or is Gotthard going to play a part in this little hunt? Already 1.5 seconds behind, so I don't see this happening, guys. The Mercedes driver still has to improve 1.5 seconds on the Ferrari driver at the moment, and with Gotthard at his tail, I don't see it happening to be honest, because those drivers will have to battle with each other. I don't really understand why Gotthard is attacking the Mercedes driver since he already has 3 seconds of penalties. So he just has to keep his his car on the track and just hope for that third position since Steve Penny has 6 seconds of penalty. So there's not really anything to worry about. GFO right now 1.9 seconds. So it does seem like Scenario is going to get that P1 in Q3 and get that P1 in the race. Let's have a look who has fastest the fastest lap at the moment. It is Physico with a 120.8, followed by I think it is Tem Shadow at the moment. So yeah. So here's your race winner, guys. Scenario followed by Salamaris and Godards. So both drivers coming across the line together. Mystery at the moment, P4, Steve Penny P5. This is because of a penalty that Steve Penny has received. So Stem Shadow seems like he has the fastest lap at the moment on 120.7. So absolutely amazing for the Haas driver as he will get that point. Let's lower down the volume at the moment, guys. There we go. So this was your race for tonight. It seems like your driver of the day is physical. Very amazing for the Red Bull driver, although I do think there's going to be another driver of the day during the actual uh, standings, because there might be a little bit of penalties received at the end of the race. Well, at the end of the week, of course, because the admins still have to proceed every single report. So let's have a look at the standings at the moment, if there is going to come, if they're going to come. These are the standings right now, before this race. So let's have a look at the Ferrari driver right now. Coming out of the paddock, here we've got him, Scenario, an absolutely amazing race, followed by Salamaris, I think his name is, and Godards getting onto the podium again. I think he's done that previous race too, since he already has 37 points into the Niki Lauda Championship. There we go. All three drivers, of course, happy. Yes, guys, it was a very interesting race tonight. Four safety cars, two virtual safety cars, a lot of crashes, a lot of DNFs, and also during the qualifying there were a lot of crashes. So very interesting to see. Let's get the standings up real quick. These are the Niki Lauda Championship standings, which are for the newer drivers and the drivers who didn't manage to get race wins last season. And we've got the Constructors Championship, getting well held strong by GFO Talamaris since he got into good points this season. Well, this race. And then we've got the standings on the right, as we see. Yeah, Mercedes absolutely doing amazing. As there isn't really a standings, I think there has been a glitch right now, but we only see the lobby right now. So I think this is the moment where we stop the stream, guys. I hope you enjoyed the stream. Let's get back next season if next race if the admins still want me as a commentator, of course. But I hope you guys enjoyed it, and I will see you next week. Peace out.